Ah, what a nice day today. It's really warm. It's the end of December, but it's still very, very warm. It's a little bit cloudy today, even foggy, but that just makes it a really nice winter day here in Texas. So I'm off this week, off from real work, but I have a few things to do, and one of them is fixing the beehive, or actually the bee trap. We have a few beehives, and well, let me show you. This one here, and then this one here that I built a couple of years ago, and then this is also one I built, and then we have this one that we got from a friend, and I think I only built the roof if I remember correctly. And right next to it is this bee trap. It's basically a bucket that I put on this tripod, and then it has the actual trap, which is this cardboard bucket with the hole at the bottom, and then a few smaller holes. It's maybe for ventilation. I don't really know if bees can get in here, but once they get in, mostly from the bottom, they will start building on the lid. And then the idea is that you take the lid off and scrape the bees off and put them in the real hive, but that's not something that we like to do. We are not very experienced beekeepers. So instead I want to come up with a system where we can take the entire lid of the bucket, move it up, over and into the beehive. Hope that works better and it disturbs the bees a lot less.
Well, I don't mind to slow down anymore. I don't mind the sound of my shoes on your floor. I don't mind selling out or playing cover song, just as long as friends and family sing along. And I don't need more money or a faster car, no. Don't need a magazine to call me a superstar, no. I'm gonna take this little house and make a home, and I'll never have to face my nights alone. 'Cause in my heart I hear you speak, and on my face I feel you breathe. Next to me, two by land, by air, by sea, and that is how it's supposed to be. Now, not much I can say. Now,
the lid is held in place with these cable ties. These bees, they have everything. I guess we see here's a little bit of bee, what you call this? Look at that. I think that's leftover Christmas decoration. There are a few wasps in here. They need to move out. This needs to fit in here somehow so that we can just open the lid, put this in, and it stays in place without too much fiddling, and then we can put the lid back on. So ideally I built some sort of a plate here, some sort of a board with the cutout hole in the middle that this can fit into, because it's kind of important from what I learned, and I didn't learn a lot about beehives, but it's not supposed to have any holes here to the top. So this should all be covered, which is what these bars are for. I mean, they cover the whole thing, but once I remove the bars to put this in, it's no longer covered. So I need to come up with some sort of board design that this thing can then sit inside of, and then I guess that will serve the purpose. Here's a leftover piece of OSB, which is not my preferred material to build really anything out of, especially not a beehive. But I don't think the bees will mind, and I have it on hand, and it's the right thickness. It shouldn't be much thicker than those bars because it needs to sit relatively flush. So I just need to cut it to size and cut a hole in it, and that will do. It is very humid today, and I think we're gonna get some rain either today or for sure tomorrow and the day after tomorrow, which would be awesome because it is way too dry right now. I mean, except for the humidity, but you know what I mean. 2 minutes ago I said we're gonna get some rain, and now the sun is coming out. Now I need to cut a hole in this, so this fits in. You can just trace out the outside here, and then I cut a little bit outside of this circle that I'm marking, because I think this thing tapers a little bit outwards, so it's a little bit bigger on top than at the bottom. There you go. So imagine we caught the bees. They are all building their first hive structure thing here. So we lift that off the bucket, move it in here, plug it in place, and then put the lid back on. Put the lid back on, like so. And that's it. Hope that makes the bees happy. I don't want to screw this in place because eventually we might have to remove it easily and then replace it with those crossbars. So, I mean, it will be locked in place once the lid is on, and that should be okay, I hope. So that was a quick project. It went a lot better than I expected. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you soon. Bye bye.